You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
We've moved into the new century, Ivan and Don, and the cadence bars of hope this is not too loud. They've gone through the
roof?
Gone through the top of the computer. Anyhow, here we are. So now, well, have we got some things to speak about today? Now, first of all, just to show that we're living in a different world, Don and Ivan.
What's your mood like today?
I tell you, we're living in a different world.
Mood.
I've just been.
Mood. How's your mood?
Well.
Better than last week?
Have you heard of
different?
What do you mean different? Have you heard of the term free bleeding, Don?
No.
Free bleeding. Wait for this. You think I'm making this up? This is the practice of menstruating without blocking or collecting the period flow. In recent years, it has.
This is a good way to.
In recent years, it has become a subject of public debate.
No, well, I have never heard of it before.
Free bleeding. So when you get
anyway,
your period,
we'll just.
No, well, hang
Where would you get a topic like this from?
Don.
Oh,
this is the way we sit here every week.
Now, where did you get this from?
We sit here every week and we discuss things that are going on this planet, things like electric vehicles and climate change and the vaccines and the world moving. Can you believe this is a thing that's happening in our world?
It's happened since Adam was a boy.
What, the women walk around with blood flowing down their legs because they don't trap their period flow? When did that happen, Don? When did you last see that? You moron. When did you last see that? And I'll tell you who's doing it.
Oh,
hang on.
Every female in the world.
What? Are you on the same page as me?
We're different.
No, hang on, Don. Just a minute. So you are saying that you've seen before?
No, I did not. You are putting that. No, I haven't. I know what you're going to say. No.
Is he listening to me?
I think he might be thinking.
Can we change the subject?
No, just a minute. I said this is a new thing that started by Generation Z people, often short for Zoomers. That's what Generation Z means, or Z.
What are Zoomers?
Oh, Jesus, Don, please listen to what I'm saying, man. Don't just sit there and look at me and make inane comments. I'm telling you who is letting blood flow down their legs.
You said Zoomers.
Generation Z, or Generation Z as people call it, Z or Z, Americans call ZZ, and the Z stands for Zoomers, Z-O-O-M-E-R-S, Zoomers.
And I'm asking the question, who are Zoomers?
Now, they're people aged
I'm
between...
about to read it out.
Well, why wouldn't you say that? Thank you.
Well, what do you mean? I'm about to read out who Generation Z people are, and you said, what does Z mean? Generation Zoomers, are shortened to colloquially known as Zoomers, is a demographic cohort succeeding millennials and preceding Generation Alpha.
What?
I know, Don, this is the world we're living in, so what I'm saying is free bleeding now. Free bleeding is people, Generation Z or Generation Z, Zoomers, wandering around now saying they don't have to stem the flow of menstrual blood, they can just let it flow down their legs. So I'm just saying to you, if you're sitting in a restaurant, Don...
Oh, please,
mate, this is the extension of it. If you're walking down the footpath and there's blood streaming down...
Oh, please. I'm visualising it.
Well, that's the point of all this. Can you believe that people are, A, letting this happen, and B, putting up with it? If you were walking down the street and you saw, or you were meeting in a public place and you saw a woman, would have to be a woman, saw a woman with blood streaming down their leg, and you'd say, what is that? Are you hurt? Say, no, I've just got my period, and I'm not stemming it or not putting any pads in or any tampons in. I'm just letting it flow freely down my legs and onto the footpath. That's the world we're living in, Don. That's why I brought it up. And you say, oh, it's unpalatable to speak about it. Well, we speak about things that
You do.
stagger.
You
well,
do.
Well,
There's no filter.
all you speak about is potholes in roads.
And thank you. And it is getting now. They must be listening to us on Channel 7 News, because last night there was a whole segment devoted to it as to who should be liable for vehicle damage. And do you know, my friend at Poly 4x4, John, now inspects car when he buys and sells cars, puts them up on the hoist to check the undercarriage, because they are selling more parts for undercarriage than ever before on cars. And that's how bad the roads are. And the segment last night on the Channel 7 News was about who is liable for the damage to cars. Now, again, I was driving through Red Hill yesterday, and I drive, and I drive in the middle lane, so I straddle the lane, because on each shoulder there's potholes. And there was a car coming the other way, so I had to get in the right lane, the left, and along came a pothole which I couldn't avoid. Why don't they fix up the roads? And you going down to play golf at Cape Schanck, mate, see this on the freeway. It's got a yellow and black sign saying rough road or road under repair, yet they're not doing anything to it.
So there we are, Don. We've gone from free bleeding to potholes on the road down to play golf. So
What's the
that's,
correlation?
as I say, we have a diverse and lateral view on this podcast of what people might listen to. And I've got someone coming in. She should be here. She said the great problem about
I don't like
people...
that word, she. It's like a cat, isn't it? Yeah. She.
It's like a cat?
Well, the word, I don't like it.
Well, when she gets here, I'll introduce her with her name. But in the meantime, if I said so-and-so was coming in and mentioned the name, you'd said, who is that? So when she comes in, I will announce who she is. But she is coming in to tell people she thinks the great problem with people who are our generation who listen to this podcast don't know how to access podcasts. They don't know how to get on their phone or whatever. And I know you're putting your hand up, Don, and she says you can have a lot more listeners because her father, she said, why don't you listen to the podcast? You cannot be serious. She said, I don't know how to get onto podcasts. So she's going to come in to explain it, and we might get her to explain it. So the point of her coming in to explain it is, if you're not listening to the podcast in the first place, what's the point of her explaining it? So what we're going to do is get her to demonstrate on. We'll film her demonstrating, and we'll put it
on Instagram?
Yes.
But what happens?
What?
That is stupid too.
What's that, Don?
Because the people of our generation, I wouldn't know how to get access Instagram.
Well, or X, which is Twitter. It used to be Twitter. It's now called X. You know that, don't you?
No, I don't.
Well, Elon Musk took over Twitter and he rebranded it X.
Yes. Oh, did he? I'm not into Facebook or Twitter.
No, well,
or
I know that.
Instagram.
What about YouTube? You
watch I love YouTube. I watch it all the time.
So, Don, she is going to come in and say, she's going to demonstrate how people can get onto listening to a podcast, particularly ours.
But she will be talking to the initiated. We want the uninitiated.
She'll be She won't be explaining it on the audio part, because if you're not listening to a podcast, what's the point of her explaining it? She's going to show it. We're going to film her showing it, and then we'll put it on YouTube or our podcast or my outlet, which is Smart as Sam, so that people can. I have a website where it has other things beside the podcast we do. It has football highlights and
really
footy show highlights.
talk?
Yes,
what do you got on what is it, Instagram?
It's a YouTube channel.
Oh, you've got a YouTube.
Yes. Do you know why I've set it up?
No.
For us, so that
really?
we can actually generate exactly.
So I can go onto YouTube of a night, and what do I punch in? Please.
Punch you in. Wait till someone comes to explain it. And anyhow, so she is coming in, and when she comes in, I'll announce who she is. In the meantime, Don, You might be interested in this. There's a huge fracas going on about John Farnham allowing The Voice to be part of a national anthem for the yes vote for The Voice. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
And it's run into a little more trouble than John just allowing it to happen, because he didn't write the song.
No.
And apparently the people who write it haven't given permission for it to be released about any political thing. And these are the people who wrote it.
Yes.
The Voice is a song written by Andy, I don't know how you pronounce this, Qunta. How would you pronounce that?
Yes.
I'm tempted to say the phonetic spelling, but I'm sure it's not. Andy
Yeah, I've seen him interviewed on YouTube.
Quanta.
Yes, keep going. So what? He's an Englishman from London.
Keith
yes.
Reid, Maggie Ryder and Chris Thompson.
And he was going to go on I think he was going on a demonstration march or something, couldn't get to the march, but went home and wrote the song.
Okay, so they haven't given permission, apparently, for the song, seeing as Farnham didn't write it, to be allowed as a political anthem for anything. So in reference to the using The Voice, the Australian referendum yes campaign, I would like to state, this is the person who wrote it, one of the person, I'd like to state that the song is not linked to any political party. It is a song for all people.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
And this is the point that John Farnham good on him if he welcomes the yes vote, but he apparently he has not got permission to allow the song to be sung as a national referendum anthem. And I would say it's a bit of an ego trip for John Farnham, thinking that the song that he sang is being used for a national referendum, and his song is being used for it, and it might make his song more popular. The point of it is that the people who wrote it don't get probably any royalties for it, or
Yeah, they'd get royalties each time it's played.
well, he says he has donated the song. He has not asked for any money.
Well, they
no
might
money
do.
has changed hands. And his agent, who was the late
Wheatley.
Glenn Wheatley.
Glenn Wheatley, his
From the
his
Masters
management.
Apprentices, bass guitarist, Masters Apprentices.
But I believe
What? Hang on.
Yeah.
What?
He was in the group called the Masters Apprentices.
Oh, sorry, Don. I wasn't speaking about his past history. I was just speaking about his management group. The late Glenn Wheatley's management group now has said that they had donated the Voice, when I'm not sure that they have the right to
to do
donate
that.
the Voice. So that's where it's, and I would say it's a bit of an ego thing for John. Because he is like The Voice to be associated with a national campaign, and it brings prominent to The Voice and might sell more records or whatever. So anyhow, just for the sake of this conversation,
just touching on that.
Yes,
I
Don.
think that what The Voice or the pro-voice people are doing is the wrong thing by enlisting celebrities, be it sports stars or people with names, to influence the vote. I don't
Right.
think that's the right thing to do.
Well, you're a celebrity.
Are the no campaigners doing that?
Well, Don, would you say you're a celebrity?
No.
Would you say I'm a celebrity?
Yes.
Well, I'm not a celebrity in the field or the realm of those people you've mentioned. The Farnhams.
You are bigger than big.
Yeah, well,
You are bigger than big, Johnny.
Well, then in that case, Don, I'm suggesting that the no vote is the only way to go. It is a divisive document, The Voice, and you shouldn't vote for it, and let's hope it doesn't get up. And that mightn't be your opinion, because you keep saying, "Oh, I don't know what's in it." And if you don't know what's in it, and if you don't know what's in it, why would you be voting
That's
for it?
exactly right.
Right, so you're against it as well.
No, I just want some information.
Well, you've been saying this for 6 months.
I know.
Well, get off your ass and examine what it
I
is.
thought the information was coming in the mail. I'm still waiting.
The hapless Prime Minister says that it's a one-page document.
No, it's 24.
Oh, fuck me dead.
No, I wouldn't.
The hapless Prime Minister The numbskull running this country says it's a one-page document, and it's not, Don. You've just rightly said it's a 24-page document, so how can you take anything on face value that a politician, particularly the Prime Minister, says? And then you have that other fucking Irish fucking vagabond...
Who?
Mr Joyce. Mr
What
Joyce,
are you
who
going
was
off at him for?
defaced. Well, I'll tell you, because...
He's resigned.
He is part of the Yes campaign.
I know he is. He's written all the planes have got yes on the side.
That's right.
And do you think he's ferrying them around Australia at no charge?
He has devalued the national carrier. He has graffitied our great planes, the Qantas national carrier, by putting his particular political stance on the side of the planes that actually we own. He has oversaw the decline of Ansett when he got out here from Ireland. He's campaigned, good on him for the gay marriage plebiscite, good on him for doing that. Honestly and truly, if he could just stick to his lane and stop defacing our planes with his particular
But it might
ploy.
be the Boyd, but the common denominator with this, who's the chairman of Qantas?
Well, not now. It's the woman now.
No, the chairman of Qantas.
Oh, I don't know.
Richard
Goyder,
Goyder.
yep.
Now, who's
Yeah, go
Richard
on.
Goyder? He also looks after the AFL, doesn't he?
He does.
Wouldn't you question
Yes.
Richard Goyder with regard to the transition of Gil McLachlan, and also is in charge of Qantas? Now, Richard Goyder, you question.
Yes, Don. Well, this is anyhow. So it's inextricably linked. We've got the Prime Minister and Mr Joyce, and Mr Joyce has just got a $20 million bonus.
He's not very big. I saw him with his cases at the airport. He's
No,
not tall.
short.
Short, I reckon
little
he's
man,
short.
short man syndrome.
No,
he's
don't
got.
be like that.
That's all right. He's got short man syndrome.
Carrying all these cases of
Carry-
How
money.
much
all
do you
these
think
cases of
what do you
money,
think
that's
his
exactly-
growth from Qantas over the years?
Yeah. Well, anyhow.
No, seriously, this is a serious question. How much do you
driven
think?
the carrier into the
How
ground?
much has he taken out?
Is this
salary-wise
is this a
and
question you
bonuses?
know the answer to, or are you just asking?
Be over 100 million, I would say.
Would you say, Don?
Yes.
Where would you have got that from?
Well, with his bonuses and his pay and what he's been there 15 years.
So what was he on a year?
Oh, 4 million?
Oh, all right, and he's been there for 20 years.
No, 15.
15.
So there's
Oh,
60.
all right,
And
60.
I reckon there'd be bonuses involved and
All
whatever
right.
else. So if he didn't walk
And
away
your
with
point.
a lot of money, isn't it, for
Yes, a
15
lot
years'
of
work?
Yes, that's right. That's right. So you get paid.
I think he's a very good salesman.
Yes, very good salesman, and he's so driven the national carrier into the ground. Its reputation is not
No,
only
it
has
is
got
profitable. It is
trash, not only has it got
profitable.
exorbitant
It's
airfare.
profitable, and what he's done is order planes or hasn't updated the stock. So whoever takes over, the lady that takes over, has got to go out and buy new stock, and the place will go plummeting down.
Yes, there we are. He's driven it into the ground. That's what I just said. So that's the voice. The voice is a we are against the voice.
Oh,
We-
no, you are.
Yeah, you are. Why are you for it? Why are you for the voice? It's a
No, I
divisive
don't understand
document.
it.
Look, Don, you keep saying that, man.
I'm not for it, and I'm not
if you
against
don't
it, but I'm not
understand
going to vote for
If
it.
you don't understand it, how can you be for it? And now, seriously,
That's why I'm not voting for it.
That's right. So you're a no vote. I just said that. You're a no vote. I just said that. And you said, no, I'm not a no vote. You are a no vote, like we are, like I am. And if John Farnham can say, well, he's a yes vote by giving his song.
Can I ask Ivan a question? We'll just get off your
Go
rant.
ahead. Questions
Ivan, a
without
friend of mine, and you're a frequent flyer, was flying from Tasmania back to Melbourne, and his brother gave him a fishing reel.
Yep.
It had 400 metres of fishing line around the reel. They wouldn't allow him to get on the flight with the reel and the line. He had to sit there for over half an hour and take 400 metres of line off the reel. Why is that?
Well, he's probably with his carry-on, was it?
Yes.
You could check it in and no problems.
Because they thought he might tie up all the passengers.
Really?
I don't know. tie up.
He had to sit there for 20 minutes,
Yep.
if not longer, an unreal 400 metres of line.
Who was he flying with?
Oh, I don't
Jetstar.
know, whatever comes out of Tassie.
What?
Egypt.
Can you believe that? You've got to...
No, no, that doesn't seem right. No, he should have been able. They should have been able to put it in the hold.
Is it a danger
No,
fishing
they
line?
can put it in the hold. They can store it in the luggage. But he said it was carry on. He wanted to put it above the seat in the storage container above
There's
the
all
seat.
these rules around what you can and can't do.
Yes.
If
But
you
what
want
would you do with fishing line?
Well, you'd tie people
tie
up and
everyone up.
strangle them and garrote them and tie their legs together and then hijack the plane. I don't know, Don. I don't know. I'm just trying to work
Well,
it out myself.
he's a frequent flyer and you fly around a bit.
I don't
haven't
fly
flown
around
for
with
years.
you.
I don't
400
fly
metres
around
of
a bit.
fishing
I've
line.
never taken a fishing line or a fishing rod onto a plane, Don. No, I've never done that. Anyhow, I tell you who has just walked in.
Yeah.
The person I was talking about when I said she.
Oh, she. This
Yeah.
is she, is it?
This is the she, yeah, and it's no good.
Hello, she.
There's no good mentioning her name, and she, if she wants to come over
But
here,
she mightn't be like being referred to as she.
which I won't refer to as she when I introduce her, but if I said her name, you would have said, "Oh, who is she?" Wait till she gets here, and
Is
then
she a
I'll
model?
explain who she is. What
Is she a model?
is she a model?
Why would you say she's a model?
Yeah, he seems
You're
to-
casting an eye over her, Ivan. You're being
being-
you're objectifying
Oh,
women.
I'm sorry.
She's sitting down
Is
there.
she a model?
Come over here.
Please.
Come
Who
over
are you
here.
talking to now?
They sound like Don.
Get-
Come here.
Yes, that's very rude.
Now, sit down here, please. Now, Don, I did mention earlier that I was told by this person here, because her father, she said to her father, why don't you listen to You Cannot Be Serious? He said, I don't know how to access podcasts. And she, this person here, said,
Why don't you introduce
oh, well, I will in a minute, you moron.
Said a
I
she.
will in a minute. And she said, well, this is the problem with people, the demographic who listen to this. They don't know how to access thereof. We're not Generation Z. Or wait till I ask her about the Generation Z people free.
No,
blo-
don't.
All right, righto.
I'm walking off.
Righto.
Out.
And she said, well, why don't someone explain? I said, why not that be you? Come in here and explain.
But she...
And the point of it is...
oh, this is ridiculous
No, it's
because
not.
the
Shut
people
up.
who listen to this podcast
Oh.
are...
I just said that, Don. Don't use my stuff, mate. See if you can think up stuff yourself. I just said, what's the point of her explaining to people how to listen to a podcast
Exactly.
if they're not listening in the first
That's
place?
exactly
well,
right.
I just said that, and you were about to repeat it. You couldn't. You were about to repeat exactly
I'll
that.
ask-
So I'm going to
I'll
speak.
ask
I'm going
Ivan
to
and she-
introduce. I'm going
What?
to introduce her now. This is Shanira. Shanira, and she's the daughter of a friend of mine. And Shanira won't mind me mentioning this, but she is married to Wazam Akram, the great left arm Pakistan bowler.
Yeah, he could bowl.
And she is out here, visiting her family, and for various other reasons. Not because she split up with Wazam, because she's here for another reason. And she said, why don't you explain to people how to do it? Now, Shanira, come and speak into this. I'm sorry if we've embarrassed you enough. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Sam. Good
Now-
morning, Don. Nice to meet you.
Shanira.
Yes.
Very unusual name. Is it? What is there?
It was Tony and Greta's moment of magic. It was just a
Is this
made-up name,
Mother
actually.
and father.
Shanira.
Shanira, did I say to you, when you come in here, I'll introduce you and Don will go off on a completely different tangent. Did I say that?
You did.
So I said, you're in here to explain how to listen to a podcast, and he'll say something like, oh, you're married to Wazam, are you? Or Shanira's a funny... has he actually done what I said he'd do? He's gone off on a completely different tangent. Go on, get the name and business out of the way, Don, before we ask her why she's here.
No, it was a moment of ecstasy.
Speak into
I've
the microphone.
It was a moment of ecstasy between her parents when they came up with the name Shanira.
Oh, that she just told you that.
I know.
Yeah, right. So Shanira,
Yes.
we took on board exactly what you said, and Don's point, who got it from me, is that it's pointless explaining how people of our generation can't get onto podcasts, if they're not listening to that, what's the point of explaining it? But we're going to get you. We're going to film you in the minute we have on.
Pointless exercise.
Is it really? Well, you mentioned most of the people you speak to don't know how to access podcasts. Didn't you just say that?
Yes.
why is that?
Howard
He's
said that
changing
to me.
the
I've got to give Howard a shout out. He doesn't know how to do it.
So, Shanira,
Yes.
just for the sake of this conversation, I know people who are not listening to this we won't be speaking to them. But just before we'll film you. How do people go about listening to a podcast?
Well, you've got a very popular podcast here, and there is a very big demand to listen to you and listen to you guys talk and banter, and I've asked around recently and I've asked people of several demographics and said, hey, have you listened to this Sam Newman and Don's You Cannot Be Serious? And a lot of them have said no, and they're people that actually would want to listen to this podcast. And they said, well, how do we do it? And this is some people also my age, I'm 42. These are people of 30-year-olds still today do not know how to download
Millennials, Don,
a podcast.
Generation Z people.
I don't know how to do
No,
it.
I'd say the
Which got me thinking, and I thought, well, hang on a minute. If this is just the people I've spoken to, can you imagine how many people out there would love to listen to you but just don't know how?
Well, isn't this sensible to have that person there,
Shanira.
Yeah.
Don't use the pronoun.
Well, I'm speaking to you. I'm not speaking to her. I was saying,
Be polite.
Isn't it sensible to have?
Okay, how do you do it? I don't know how to do it.
Well, let's get a demonstration happening, I think, and you need to get it out there. You need to tell people, and I think you can do that.
I've got a new phone, Shanira. Where is the thing?
No. So all right. So you say that to get the podcast up on a phone, you have to get your phone.
You've got to get your phone. You've got to download Podbean.
So
You go to the App Store.
App Store. Okay,
And
hang on. Oh, shit.
If you don't know how to do that, you get your friend, son, daughter, mother,
I've
sister,
got apps on
brother.
the phone.
You go
call
to the
them.
App Store.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, now hang on. I'm
App Store.
going to run through this with you.
You go to App Store.
Just hang on. I've got to work this new phone.
No, well, Don,
Just shut up. There's apps.
I reckon we'll
Okay,
get
I've
stuck at
pressed
the
it.
password.
Now,
dear.
download Podbean.
Created a
Go to
mess.
that little magnifying glass in the right-hand
Where?
bottom corner,
Oh, yes,
man.
I see. Search.
and then write Podbean.
Up the top where it's got games
Yes,
and
where
so
it's
forth.
grey. Yep, grey.
Okay, I'll just press that.
And type Pod. Do you want me to spell Podbean for you?
Yeah, how do you spell it?
Podbean.
Really?
Please don't give Shanira any more indication that you are
I've got
a
it.
practicing
Right, shut up,
fuckwit.
Now press that little blue button down the bottom that says search.
Search, yeah, down
And more importantly, guys, this is what you've got. This is the episode you've got to share with people. And you've got to go when you're at the pub or you're at your cafe, you're having a coffee, and you say, have you listened to that? You Can Be Serious. And they say, no, I don't know how. You say, right, give me a phone. And you do that. You do exactly what
Hang on,
Don's doing right
okay,
now.
now I press
You
search.
go to search
Jeez, the
before
phone's
it blacks
gone off.
out.
Righto, press search.
Yeah, and then Podbean should come up. It's the first or second.
Oh, yeah, it's got open.
Now,
Pod-
right, get.
What?
It'll say
Where's
get.
get?
Well, has he already downloaded?
Oh, yeah, up the top. Hang on.
Yep.
Come on, don't
Get,
laugh at me.
press get
Don't
But-
laugh at you.
at Podbean.
It's one of the reasons you're in here,
Shut
Don.
up, John.
If you weren't-
Podbean is on it's his second app, and
Hang
he's going to
on.
he's going to press get, which you've already
Sit
got,
down, Don.
and you press the get button, and then you enter your Apple password, or you double click, however you download apps, and then it should say downloading, and then you've got it. And once you've got it, you type in your nickname, your email address.
Bluetooth. It's come up with Bluetooth.
You've already got it, Don.
What? I've got Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Speak into the microphone,
Would you
Don.
shut
Oh,
up?
don't
I'm
stand up
having a
over the top of it and
So
speak
actually-
over the top of a head.
We're going to stop demonstrating from Dom because he already has it.
Right.
So from then, it will say downloading, and then you put in your nickname. It'll ask you for your nickname, your name, your email address, and then you've got it, and it'll come up straight away. There'll be Sam's head there.
So, Shanira, what we're going to do is we do 3 segments. We've nearly finished this first one. When we finish this first one, in between the first and the second one, you are going to film. We're going to film you for a minute, showing with the phone what you do, and then we will put it on a site that someone who can access a social media site can look at, and they'll see. That's how you download a podcast, and that's what we're going to do.
We'll also put some simple instructions on your Instagram handle, which is Smart
as Sam.
Smart
as. So, Don, wasn't that worthwhile having Shanira, that person there, she, come in and explain that, Don? Because you've just said most of your friends have no idea, and I got a feeling by the blank look on your face, you've got no idea either.
Idea.
That's
hey,
right, no
Shanira,
idea.
It's got here, Podbean, would you like to use Bluetooth? It says don't allow...
Just say no now.
No.
Because you've got a lot of...
What?
wires and
interference
everything around you. So say no now, but when you get to your car, that's great, because I think I was listening to the podcast here on the way here. It was great because there's a lot
I don't think Don would Bluetooth it to his car.
Oh, that car, the car we were talking about before.
What do you mean, this car you're talking about?
I think it was born before
Where is the
Bluetooth
other
was
car that
invented.
you
Now
got?
you're judging.
Where's the other car
am,
that you've got?
Being looked after.
Who's looking after it?
Don't worry about who's looking
Okay,
after
all right.
it.
Well, that's all right. You were going to come in a different car.
No, I wasn't. That's my favourite car there.
That's your only car.
No, it's not.
What's your other car? Anyhow, Don, we digress. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just while Shanira is here, we've got Ricky Nixon has just entered the house over here. He was going to speak to us about something. I'm not sure what. The last time
He's in the shit, isn't he?
last time we saw him in the paper, he said he was broke.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's in the shit.
Well, I don't know if he's in the shit. Could I just mention, did you drive along Beaconsfield Parade?
Yeah, and I saw her.
For those people listening around the world, Beaconsfield Parade is our boulevard, the main boulevard in the city of Melbourne, and we have a vagabond, a sponge,
She's back.
living on the footpath.
She hasn't been there for weeks.
She's
on
got a
holidays.
tent. She
She's
lives
not.
in a
She's
tent.
sleeping under cover today. She's back where she
When
normally
the weather's
is.
inclement, she moves into a tent. And the disgrace of this is the council, is that the Port Phillip Council allow this to go on and on. We're into about the third year of someone just deciding they'll move their whole existence onto the
I
footpath
think
of
they
our
do
main
move
boulevard.
her, but she's like a possum, just keeps coming back.
She's like a leech. She's like a limpet. She keeps clinging back. Why they don't just scoop her up? And I'll tell you what, the Micah ambulances, the police go by about 4 times a week to see that she's all right, taking up the resources of the police and the ambulance just to make sure that she's all right. Why she's allowed to do it is beyond me, because it'll set a precedence and people will start moving in, and on the summer there'll be a whole boulevard full of
Beautiful weather
of
now.
campers down there.
Has not been for 4 years. She's the only one.
Well,
You're going over the top a bit.
am I, Don? So do you think she should be allowed to stay there, do you?
No, I'm not.
Well,
I don't.
Why don't you think she should be?
Well, it's not the good.
Why don't you think she should?
And I don't think the homeless people around Melbourne. I think it's a really bad
Hang
look
on.
for internationals, and she is.
I'm talking about our main boulevard. Why?
What about our city, our main
I'm
city?
talking about, why do you think it's not a good idea she be allowed to stay there, Don? If you don't think it's a precedent.
unsightly.
It's what?
Unsightly.
That's right, and it's a precedence. Exactly unsightly. Quite right.
Well, when
Why
you're
is
Lord Mayor, you could clean up.
No, it have nothing to do with me, the Lord Mayor. That's a different precinct.
Are
That's
you still standing for the Lord
That's
Mayor?
the Port Phillip Council. That's the Port Phillip Council. Nothing to do with the jurisdiction
Well, what
of the
about the
Lord
homeless
Mayor.
in Melbourne? Are you
The
going
what?
to fix that up?
The what?
The homeless in Melbourne, the city of Melbourne.
Am I going to fix it up?
Well, are you standing?
What the hell
For
are
the
you
Lord
talking-
Mayor.
No, I'm not, Don.
Okay.
No, I'm not. So, all right. Well, now Shanira's all right. So we're going to wind this up.
Shanira want to go.
Well, maybe she's got
She's
things
embarrassed.
to do. She's not embarrassed at all. We just finally finish. Will we just do this before we stop? Did you see if you got just 1 minute, did you see that the Victorian Football Association, let me just get that up, they're allowing all the teams in the competition to play in the finals? Did you see that?
The VFA?
That's that-
VFL.
Are we going to mention about the hat, the cap,
What
the
cap?
latest bid?
No, I
Yeah,
wasn't, but
I've just got a thing from Michael Christian. The latest bid is $500. From Nick Monaghan from Oyen in Victoria.
The South Metropolitan Junior Football League has decided to allow every side in the competition to play in the finals, whether they got into the finals or not, in the name of interest of player enjoyment, retention and encouragement. So if you finish last or the top, you're into the finals. So they just have a final series played against all the sides in the competition. And
Lee Matthews was advocating or putting an idea forward that the top team, he thinks that an idea that should be investigated, the top team should have its choice as to who it plays out of the remaining top 4 teams.
What's that,
He's
Don?
putting that idea forward.
What's that, Don?
That the top team, the team that finishes
Yes.
top of the AFL, in
Yes.
the AFL, should have the right, or he's proposing, they play one of their choice, one of the teams that finishes in the top 4.
Not the top 8.
No, the top 4, I think he said.
So,
you'd
so
play
if you
fourth.
finish, so you have to finish first, second, third, or fourth, and the
And
top
then the
side.
top team has the choice of which team it plays in the final.
In the top 4.
In the top 4.
Not
That's
the top
what
8.
No. I hope I've got it right. But
I'm
that's
sure
what
you
I
haven't.
heard.
It
I'm
sounds absolutely illogical nonsense what you're
Thank
saying.
you. That's what I thought when
why
I
wouldn't
heard
you
it.
get it right before you
No,
explain it?
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
You're pretty sure.
Because
So you're
I
saying
listened on the news coming in this
so
morning,
that
so it's the latest.
if Collingwood finished top
Yes.
and Carlton finished fourth,
Yes, they could play.
they could say, well,
We could play that team. Or they could pick either second, third or fourth to play.
how would that be an advantage?
That'd be good for planning, wouldn't it?
How would that be an advantage?
I just put my hands up, John. I find football very hard to follow.
I find you hard to follow. I'm sure that couldn't possibly be what he was on about. It is, Don, is it? All right. Well, look, that's that. We've covered free bleeding. We've covered potholes. We've covered how to get
Of all the
onto.
things,
We
you
haven't quite.
remembered that.
We haven't quite got onto how to access a podcast, but we're going to film Shania now showing us without you interrupting her or sticking your bib in. We'll just show her. She can hold the phone up and she say, "This is what you do. You press this, that, then you go to that, and we'll put it on a social platform that someone who doesn't listen to a podcast might access anyhow." And we'll go from there. You all right with that? All right, here we go.
He's nodding.
We're finishing off now, so here we go.